साध्वी प्रज्ञा सिंह ठाकुर का स्वागत कर रहे हैं आतिशबाजी के साथ।
17 years of trial by fire ends.
17 वर्षों का संघर्ष रहा, लेकिन सत्य सिद्ध हुआ। सत्यमेव जयते।
Sadhvi Pragya walks free, drops a bombshell. Sadhvi Pragya says she was tortured in jail to name Modi and Yogi.
उसमें सभी के नाम आए हैं, मैंने लिखित में सब दिया है। माननीय योगी जी का है, माननीय मोहन भागवत जी का है। तुम ये बोलोगी तो हम तुम्हें नहीं पीटेंगे।
Deep, dark Malegaon secrets tumble out. Who's behind the frame Modi conspiracy? Hindu terror bogey exposed. Larger plot behind the Malegaon attack. That's our top focus on India Today. It's a sensational claim made by Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur. An effort to implicate Prime Minister Narendra Modi, then Chief Minister of Gujarat, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat and several others in that alleged Hindu terror plot. And that's our top focus story, because Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur, when she reached Bhopal after her acquittal in the 2008 Malegaon blast case, she's come out all guns blazing. She's targeted the Congress party and she's alleged that the Congress party, for Muslim appeasement, floated the bogey of Hindu terror. She claims she was tortured by the Maharashtra Police Anti-Terror Squad for close to a month to name and implicate then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi, Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh Sarsangh Chalak Mohan Bhagwat, the current Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and several others with Hindu terror. She refused and the torture intensified. She is now demanding an investigation and legal action against those who floated the Hindu terror bogey.
17 वर्षों का संघर्ष रहा, लेकिन सत्य सिद्ध हुआ। सत्यमेव जयते।
I was forced to name Narendra Modi and Yogi Adityanath in Malegaon case. Faced inhuman torture for refusing to name Narendra Modi and Yogi Adityanath. Malegaon blast was a Kong conspiracy. It was Congress's ploy for Muslim votes. Must try Congress leaders for treason now. Former BJP MP Pragya Singh Thakur has dropped a bombshell. Days after she was acquitted by a special NIA court in the 2008 Malegaon blast, Pragya has said that she was forced to implicate then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi and then BJP MP Yogi Adityanath in the case. She claimed she was tortured a lot for refusing to do so.
आपने कहा कि एटीएस ने नरेंद्र मोदी समेत तमाम बीजेपी के बड़े नेताओं के लिए आप पे दबाव बनाया था कि आप उनका नाम लें।
दबाव बनाया था और दबाव में, लेकिन मैं आई नहीं और मैंने किसी का भी नाम नहीं लिया, झूठा नाम नहीं लिया। जो वो कहलवाने थे, झूठा प्रचार कर रहे थे, मैंने नहीं किया और इसलिए मुझे इतना टॉर्चर किया गया।
प्रज्ञा सिंह ठाकुर का स्वागत कर रहे हैं आतिशबाजी के साथ। ये आतिशबाजी हो रही है सामने साध्वी प्रज्ञा सिंह ठाकुर के स्वागत के लिए।
Pragya, who received a rousing welcome in Bhopal, asserted that the 2008 Malegaon blasts were a conspiracy by the Congress party and that the party should be tried for treason.
हिंदुओं को किसी भी प्रकार से जो प्रताड़ित कर सकते थे, जेल में डाल सकते थे, उनको मार सकते थे, उनके ऊपर झूठे केस लगा सकते थे, वो सब कुछ किया और देश के तो छोड़ो, भगवा को आतंकवाद कह दिया, हिंदुत्व को आतंकवाद कह दिया। ऐसी निकृष्टता, इतने निम्न स्तर की सोच कांग्रेस रखती है और कांग्रेस ने ये कुचक्र रचा और ये देशद्रोहिता में आता है।
Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has defended Pragya Thakur's claims of torture by earlier Congress government. Shinde has accused the UPA Sarkar of framing Hindu leaders and coining the term saffron terrorism.
ब्लास्ट हुआ, इसके बारे में ये भगवा दहशतवाद है, भगवा आतंकवाद है, ऐसा स्वरूप देने का काम तत्कालीन यूपीए और कांग्रेस सरकार ने किया।
Earlier, Mehboob Mujawwar, a former officer in the Maharashtra anti-terrorism squad, had also revealed that he was pressured to arrest the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat on directions from IPS officer Parambir Singh and other senior officials.
परमवीर सिंह और उनके ऊपर के अधिकारी ने मेरे को आदेश देके बुला के लेके कहा गया था कि ये लोगों को पकड़ के लाओ। वो रामजी कलसंगरा, दिलीप पाटीदार, संदीप डांगे और आदरणीय मोहन भागवत, ये लोगों को लाने के लिए मेरे को नेमा गया था।
Retired Lieutenant Colonel Prasad Purohit, who was also acquitted in Malegaon case, was also given a rousing welcome in Pune. He has hailed the verdict while speaking exclusively to India Today.
Very happy to be at home and within my family members. When I was in jail, they suffered. Okay. This area suffered because of me. And today they are happy, I am happy for them.
Was there a larger conspiracy in the Malegaon blasts? Uncovering the truth of Malegaon attacks can alone ensure justice for the 6 people who perished in the attacks. With Omkar Wavade in Pune, Bureau Report, India Today.
Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur has leveled sensational charges against the Congress party, saying that the conspiracy was to implicate Narendra Modi, Mohan Bhagwat, Yogi Adityanath, Indresh Kumar, Ram Madhav and other Hindu leaders with Hindu terror. And is there a pattern to this? I want you to just consider this. In 2014, Arun Jaitley, late Arun Jaitley, then Finance Minister of India, said that the Central Bureau of Investigation had a file noting that explicitly stated that framing Amit Shah in the Sohrabuddin Sheikh case was essential to implicate Narendra Modi. Arun Jaitley argued that the CBI under the UPA influence overruled its own legal department's opposition to Amit Shah's arrest, indicating political motives. 1. 2. In 2023, Amit Shah himself went on record to say that the CBI pressured him. CBI put pressure on him to implicate Narendra Modi in the Sohrabuddin Sheikh case, promising his release if he complied. He stated that a Mumbai court acquitted him, ruling the case was politically motivated. So is there a pattern to this? Let's bring into this conversation our guest on the show. Dr. Gulrez Sheikh is BJP Madhya Pradesh spokesperson, joins us on this broadcast. Ravi Srivastava is a political analyst. He's reported extensively and analyzed the UPA government and the Congress very extensively. Vikram Singh is former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. He'll give us the investigations perspective. Sandeep Singh joins us as a political analyst, and he's looked at the Sangh and the BJP very closely. But I first want to cut across and bring into this conversation briefly Aparna Purohit, the wife of Colonel Prasad Shrikant Purohit. She joins me from Mumbai after her husband's acquittal. Ms. Purohit, if you can hear me, congratulations. You've struggled for over 17 years. Finally, justice for you and your family.
The wait of 17 years is over now, and we were really waiting for this verdict. We always knew the outcome of the case, but now it is in black and white that the verdict is out now, and I'm really relieved with this verdict.
Okay.
So it has been a concocted case. We've been saying this from day one that it's a concocted case, and during the course of the hearing, even the evidences and all were all fake. So this has been proved now.
Okay. So you've maintained throughout that this was a concocted case. Your husband was implicated, and he was also forced to name some people. He kept pleading his innocence. What next for you? What happens now?
So I think I got a closure with, and not just me, but my entire family got a closure with this verdict. My husband and the other accused, the other innocents who were there in the case, they were put in as accused, and they were implicated in this case. And now it is open how this case was concocted, and people have so, and it is open how the why this case was really done. So I feel by now it is the responsibility of the masses and the media to come out and bring this reality in front of the masses, and it is the responsibility of everyone to bring the architects of this fake narrative, this fake case, and make these architects face the consequences of what they have done. So, I think this would really give a closure to the whole nation and this narrative.
Okay.
What I feel is, if such a thing actually happens, it would make our democracy strong and our nation strong. This is my firm belief.
Okay. Ms. Purohit, many thanks for joining me. You're saying that the architects of this case should be brought to justice, the perpetrators. Ravi Srivastav, respond to Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur saying Hindu terror was actually a myth created for Muslim appeasement politics by the Congress party. So whether it's Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur or Colonel Purohit, they were tortured to name Narendra Modi, Mohan Bhagwat, Yogi Adityanath, so many others. So this was the entire conspiracy that's been unraveled. Response, sir.
Good evening, Gaurav, and good evening to all my fellow panelists here. What I would like to say is that if you recall and you see the detailed judgment in the Malegaon case, the Honorable Judge Mr. A.K. Lahoti has clearly stated that Pragya Thakur was not tortured. There is no evidence of any torture. There is no record of any torture in the police custody by the ATS, and no such things are there. Had it been there, she was free to make a complaint. She had, when the remand was being taken, even that time she did not mention it that she's been tortured. And if you recall that 2011 in Honorable Supreme Court also, there was no mention of any torture to Pragya Singh Thakur. It's a case of botched investigation right from the beginning. And the way it has been, there were 2 charge sheets by the ATS, by the NIA. And if you recall clearly that 2017, the public prosecutor Rohini Salayan had clearly said that she was under pressure from NIA to go soft on Pragya Singh Thakur. So, and this whole case, the way it has unfolded, you see that just a few days before, there was a case on train blasts happened, and the 12 people were acquitted completely. Next day, the government went to the Supreme Court and appealed against it. But I have not heard anything from the government yet for going against in appeal to Supreme Court against this particular order. Why? Because the 6 lives were lost. 101 people got injured. Were they not a human being? Why did they suicide over there? I think there is a lot more which, is to be unraveled, to be
That's
seen.
That's a very interesting point that you make, sir. And I must get, not just Sandeep Singh to comment on this, but I also want to bring in Dr. Gulresh Sheikh to respond to this. Dr. Gulresh Sheikh, both sides, whether it's Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur or, if I may, analysts who are looking at this case, elements who are in the government earlier, they're saying, let there be a probe, let the truth come out. If there is a conspiracy, the BJP has now been in power for 11 years. Expose that conspiracy. Who did this? After all, there was a blast. After all, 6 people died. What action will the government take now in this case, sir?
Well, Gaurav, first of all, I will say that our stand had been clear and similar from day one. That let it be Sadhvi Pragya or others, they were politically framed by the Congress party and then the UPA government. And since the spot of this blast was in Maharashtra, the government of Maharashtra was also in hand of Congress party, and so was the UPA government in center. So it was a double action taken against these people, and it was totally politically motivated. And let me tell you, Gaurav, if any of such incidents takes place in country, the prompt reaction of any government in power should be a fair and just inquiry. But when you go for behind your political motives and start framing people to whom you want to target, then all the things go in gutter and all the evidences are lost in time. And that's what I'm afraid of, because 6 people have died, more than 100 has suffered injuries, and the government of the day that time, it was definitely responsible for all these horrendous acts. And let me make one thing very clear. You go through the newspapers of that era, let it be Hindus or let it be Muslims, even let it be in Maharashtra, in Uttar Pradesh, in Rajasthan, wherever their hands, Congress was having their hand in power, they were gathering Muslim youth and they were arresting them on charges of Al Qaeda and
Give
different
me a moment,
organizations.
because I want to, for the moment, stay specifically on this case, and then we will expand this. Sandeep Singh, Sadhvi Pragya is demanding a probe against those who floated, as she says, this myth of Hindu terror and spread this myth of saffron terror to implicate Prime Minister Modi, CM Yogi, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat. She says Sangh, Sant and Sena, they were targeted because the Sant, the Sena and the Sangh are fighting the radical Islamist forces that only they wanted to encourage. That's her allegation.
Yeah, Gaurav, if you see right from the time of independence, Congress has tried to hound RSS. They tried to fix RSS people in the Gandhiji's killing. They couldn't do. So they keep making this attempt. 26/11, RSS ki sajish, and then we came across this Malegaon thing. So Congress has a history of targeting RSS, somehow frame RSS leadership. And not only RSS leadership, anybody who's a nationalist. They hounded Subhas Bose and his colleagues before independence, after independence. And from there to you come today, they are saying they will see to it election commission officials even after their retirement. So Congress has a history of targeting people who are nationalists or who don't toe their line. So I'm not surprised that what they did or what Sadhvi ji is saying is correct. And absolutely right that we must need to investigate that who bossed up, because in the process of framing RSS people, real culprits have gone away. And I think Ravi Srivastava should be asking that question. And the second thing, I'm sure Vikramji will answer, that if someone is tortured, I don't think police maintains a record that he or she has been tortured.
Okay. Let me bring in Dr. Vikram Singh into this conversation, because I want to stay on the bigger point of one, conspiracy of Hindu terror, and two, a pattern to target then Chief Minister Narendra Modi and Prime Minister Narendra Modi now. Now, Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur, Dr. Vikram Singh said that the aim was to target Narendra Modi. Remember what Amit Shah had said in 2023? CBI put pressure on him to implicate Modi in the Sohrabuddin case. He was promised that if you fix Modi, you will be released if he complied with them. He said Mumbai court acquitted him, and the Mumbai court found that the case was politically motivated against Amit Shah, and they tried to implicate Narendra Modi. Your appreciation of this, sir?
Good evening, Gaurav ji and distinguished gentlemen. I'm so happy that you have been able to connect the dots right from its inception, from the Sohrabuddin Sheikh encounter, right up to Amit Shah ji's implication in a fake case. Now, coming back to the fact that it has a history and the precedents. One of the ex-ATS officers, Mehboob Mujawar, also is on record to say that he was not only asked to arrest Mohan Bhagwat ji, but also tortured thereafter when he refused to. He was also tortured. Now, coming back to the fact that torture, as Pradeep Singh ji has mentioned, that police have perfected this into an art, how to camouflage third degree and give electric shocks, push water into it. And I don't want to give ideas to the young officers, but yes, there are devious ways of inflicting injury without getting any medical legal report, even if it ends up in a death, and a postmortem would not reveal any torture. So this part is there. 1056 pages of Justice Lahoti's is worth reading every word of it. But I would say that what Colonel Purohit, Sadhvi Pragya, Mehboob Mujawar, and other accused are saying, gross torture. And I would say, I would name Paramveer Singh. He has not exactly covered himself with glory in the Antilla case, partnering with the likes of the rogue elements in the Mumbai police like Sachin Wage, who are accused of murders for furthering their own selfish and economic interests. And no other than Mehboob Mujawar has said that there was a talk of reviving Sanatan, anti-Sanatan sentiment and saffron terror. You know why? Because Pakistan was said to be the factory of jihadi movement then. And therefore, to counter that, there was a lobby in India also to bring about something that is akin to a Sanatan or a Bhagwa Atankwad to counter that narrative.
Imagine.
Now, now, Gauravji, I would say these are very serious allegations.
Yes, sir.
I would say that needs to be a registration. All these allegations disclose the commission of a very serious cognizable offenses. And therefore, I'm not saying who's guilty or is innocent, but justice demands that the cases be registered against all those, beginning from all the ATS officers. Mehboob is on record, Sadhvi Pragya is there, Colonel Purohit is there, Mrs. Purohit is there, and there are other accused who say of inhuman torture to them.
Okay.
I would strongly recommend that a case be registered, investigated in a given span of time by an SIT with experts, and then, if not, also a parallel judicial inquiry as well, because the nation cannot suffer this kind of violations of human rights, and those also in a manner in which to make black into white and white into black.
No, and the pattern here, Ravi Srivastav, as Dr. Vikram Singh very rightly pointed out. So Amit Shah spoke of the Sohrabuddin Sheikh case. Arun Jaitley quoted documents as Finance Minister of India, 2014. He said CBI explicitly said, and this was the CBI noting that very explicitly stated framing Amit Shah and Sohrabuddin Sheikh was essential to implicate Narendra Modi. So Sohrabuddin Sheikh encounter, first fix Amit Shah, then through Amit Shah fix Narendra Modi. That was the game plan. Arun Jaitley argued that CBI under the UPA government influence overruled its own legal department because CBI's legal department said there is no case. It does not involve, warrant the arrest of Amit Shah or the interrogation of Amit Shah and subsequent implication of Narendra Modi, and yet this was done. And very clearly, this was politically motivated, Mr. Srivastav.
Gaurav, first of all, what I would like to point out here is that everybody is coming out with the statements after the acquittal.
Sir, I have quoted old statements from 2014 and I have covered Colonel Purohit's case from the day he was arrested, sir, from the time he was arrested. So permit me I've covered Ishrat Jahan case at length and how affidavits were changed in the Ministry of Home Affairs.
No, I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is that in this particular case, what we have not, none of the panelists have talked about that there were 6 people lost their lives.
And everybody says investigated, but don't arrest Hindus and float a bogey of Hindu terror.
That is different.
Arrest the people who are responsible.
That the truth should come out, the truth should be unraveled. That is more important. And for that, now even this at this stage, the Sadhvi Pragya talking about the torture and all those things, I would call it an afterthought and a fabrication.
Oh, absolutely not. You must read deeper. You must read deeper because she has said this throughout.
She had full 17 years to make these kind of statements, which
and she did. Please go back in history and read, sir. And she did. So did Colonel Purohit. From the day he was arrested, when he was assaulted with belts, when he was beaten up, he's documented it and made a case to his superiors. But Sandeep Singh, does this indicate a pattern? Start talking about Hindu terror, saffron terror, and have top ministers talk about it. Implicate political opponents. The pattern from Sohrabuddin Sheikh to Ishrat Jahan to 2611, and I'll come to 2611 in just a moment. In the Ishrat Jahan case, Sandeep Singh, the Ministry of Home Affairs changed its own affidavit to implicate first police officers in Gujarat and then through them the political leadership of Gujarat.
Yes, and as you rightly said, there's a clear-cut pattern and it's not a one-off case. And I request that the current government needs to investigate it. They let it go that 2611 RSS ki sajish, and nobody is investigated. They published a book and released it officially in Mumbai. So if the government is not going to investigate or put these things to an end, then how will people will have trust? People will be misinformed and they'll remain confused that this is a political witch hunt is happening.
Yes.
While the citizens want to know what is the truth. Who was behind 2611 RSS ki sajish? Who plotted it, and it was to defend whom? Or even this case, Malegaon blast, what Raviji is saying, nobody is talking about it. I clearly said that to frame RSS, they forgot to arrest the real culprits.
Yes.
And we need to know that how come those 6 people lost their life? They were Indian citizens.
So,
101
Dr. Gulresh
people were
Sheikh,
injured.
you are the government in power since 2014. Your government has been in power for the past 11 years. Now it's 2025. Long enough to probe, identify, prosecute and punish with evidence those responsible for creating this bogey, this myth of Hindu terror, equating Hindus with radical Islamist terrorists who've been bleeding our country for such a long time, and yet nothing has been done. What has been done, sir?
Gaurav, one should not forget that yes, we are in power since almost 11 years, but time is not in our hand. They have passed the very crucial time when all the evidences were there in plotting their political adversaries or in people whom they were not liking because of their political thought process. And this was the case with Congress party since very beginning, since 1947, the way they treated or targeted Savarkarji or other RSS members and plotted things against them. And because of that, even the Gandhi execution files, they are covered, and many of the things are being lost because they were targeting political people rather than real culprits. And that's what has taken place even in this case. And to me personally, a very senior officer of MHA, who a retired officer, he has said, but since he has not allowed me to take his name, he told me categorically that the Congress party, the UPA government was wanting to change some things in MHA, but since he said no to them, Mr. Kamalnath, I am using the name.
No, don't
Mr.
use names,
Kamalnath,
because if you can't, I'm sorry, since Mr. Kamalnath is not here to defend himself, no names, sir. No names. India Today does not, vouch for whatever this is being said at this stage. I want to stay on the principle. I want to stay on the principle of India's war on radical Islamist terror. Dr. Vikram Singh, the last 30 seconds that we have on this part of the show, I really want to talk about the Pakistani terrorists who attacked India during 26/11, 2008. All of them had tied that sacred Hindu Kalava. All of them had fake identity cards with Hindu names, including Ajmal Amir Kassab. And this would indicate a much deeper pattern that even Pakistani terrorists were trying to spread this bogey of Hindu terror. This would just indicate a very malicious intent of what was happening, those Pakistani terrorists. And then a book being released, 26/11 RSS ki sazish, when a Pakistani terrorist had been caught alive.
Very true, Gauravji. I know you've articulated it very beautifully that had Ajmal Kasab not been arrested alive, it would have been a very different story, because the book 26/11 RSS ki sazish was not the product of a day. It was after application of mind, considerable forethought, and then to paint everything as Bhagwa Atankawad. Of course, every life matters, but at the cost of saving and investigating lives, you don't nail the innocents. Nailing the innocents, this is a national shame and needs to be investigated. All those responsible, there should be serious consequences for those who try to fudge up investigation, frame innocents, and derail the investigation. I say all the three. But yes, bringing about something that is non-existent. Take the statement of David Coleman Ridley, take the statement of 26/11 RSS ki sazish, and who are the people there? Bernie, the writer, and I would take names, Digvijay Singh, and also Mahesh Bhatt. And what Mr. Sheikh has left unsaid, I will say, RVS Mani, the then Undersecretary, he was also tortured. Of course, there should be consequences for those who tortured government servants and those in office. My appeal to Gulresh Sheikh Sahab would be that you should expedite the investigation against all those guilty. I deem this as a national shame and the scandal of the century.
The scandal of the century. And seriously, Ravi Srivastava, irrespective of whatever side of the divide anyone may be, the big question remains, 26/11 was an attack on India. In that attack on India by Pakistani terrorists, with all the evidence that's available in public domain, People from a dozen countries, 25 people from a dozen countries were killed. And in our own country, we have powerful political leaders and elements in India's film industry who say 26/11 RSS ki sazish.
And
I mean, you may hate the RSS for all, however
please
much,
10 seconds.
but you will let Lashkar-e-Taiba go scot-free. You will let Pakistani state go scot-free so that you can implicate an organization in your own country. Can anybody think that this can happen in a civilized country? It just defies logic. I've run out of time on this part of the debate, but over the next several days and weeks, this is a story we'll be tracking very, very closely. The question also remains, was any action taken against those who said 26/11 RSS ki sazish when there was evidence that this was the handiwork of Pakistan? And some people knew this was the handiwork of Pakistan because their kith and kin were with David Coleman Headley, and yet they were releasing books 26/11 RSS ki sazish. Is this how pliable India is? Or they think India is? We'll track that story. That is all I have for you on India Today at 9 this evening.